Hi, and welcome to Truth with Ruth, a witty, warm, and real podcast about anything and everything health and fitness. I'm your host, Ruth Edwards, and I'm joined by
co-host Evan Edwards.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about mercury fillings. So like in your teeth. Or in your mouth, like on your teeth, in your teeth, whatever. So, and like maybe why that would be potentially be something to be concerned about or consider having removed or replaced, and what other choices there are. So that's the topic for today. Mercury. What do you know about mercury?
That you shouldn't touch it, that you shouldn't let it get on your skin because it's a toxic metal.
Yep.
And that's all. It was when I was a kid, that was like it was being, I guess when the whole I don't know if that's when the whole mercury, like, it's always been poisonous, but like when they started being really aware about it, because some places still did have mercury thermometers, but they were like, you have to be very careful when you handle the mercury thermometer.
Right.
But I mean, I haven't seen a mercury thermometer since, I don't know, I was 8.
Yeah, we don't have one in this house now. Your grandparents have them still in their house. And so, yes, if the glass breaks, and then yes, it has the potential to be quite harmful, and the vapors especially. So it is a naturally occurring mineral, and it's in the periodic table of elements, and it's got a lot of uses. It's used for a lot of things. When I was looking up a little bit more about mercury, like there's quite a bit, but yes, over the years, and especially more recently, realizing how harmful it is or it can be to the environment and to people, to pets, to animals, like wildlife animals. So anyway, pretty interesting. But of course, as it happens, that's what happens. It has happened numerous times in our history, human history, that we know of, is that something is discovered, an element, a mineral, a chemical, and it's used for something that they think is good and okay and safe. And then we find out later that it might not be, or that it is poisonous or toxic. And so in this case, we're going to talk about mercury being used in dentistry. And I had a mouthful of mercury-based fillings because as a kid, I had a lot of cavities. Yes, I brushed my teeth twice a day, like I was told to. And this was with fluoridated, is that how you say it?
Oh.
I don't know. Toothpaste with fluoride in it, because that's about that time that came out. And yet I was the child that kept having cavities. And I would get so mad because my sister, who was several years older than me, hardly ever brushed her teeth, and she never had cavities. Now that I know what I know, I have hypermobility, and that probably did contribute, because your teeth can be, quote, soft, or unquote, when you have that genetic predisposition. But anyway, we didn't know that back then. Had a bunch of cavities filled. Of course, they were filled with the mercury fillings. Now, mercury is not the only mineral in that. It's a combination, and it's called an amalgam. AMALGAM, I believe.
I'll have to see it written out.
It's on this website, but I don't know exactly where. Amalgam. I'm from the South. I don't know how to say words. Okay, so it's been used in mining, for firearms, and skin whitening, and of course dentistry. some other niche uses, electrochemistry, mirrors, thermometers, of course, like you mentioned. So, I mean, there it is. AMALGAMS.
Amalgams?
Sure. Amalgams.
Dental amalgams.
Yeah. And so, anyway, okay, so why would it be something to be concerned about?
Well, like we were told as kids, it's toxic.
Yeah. So then you start, okay, then why is it in my mouth? Is that a good idea? And I had not really thought about it much, but then it started when I started the whole holistic alternative medicine, healing, things like that. It started to pop up every so often in a conversation or in my reading or things like that. And definitely when I was doing the autoimmune protocol and heard or was reading, reduce your toxic burden or reduce your toxic load, then Mercury was one of the things that started to come up. Well, most of the time I just kind of shoved it to the side and was like, nah. Sure, they said it was safe. Surely it's safe. And it was just something I just couldn't quite absorb or wrap my head around at that time. I had to do the stuff that was more pressing. Then once I got to a place where I was feeling pretty good and feeling better and doing a lot better and fairly healthy overall, then I started doing a little bit more digging into what could the impact be of having numerous mercury fillings in your mouth. So, there could be that impact because it is highly toxic. And it also is a good conductor of electricity. Well, we are electrical beings. We talked about that in the electrolyte episode. And the earth is electrical, like there's electricity all around us. So anyway, could that be something? My mouth can conduct electricity. So anyway, then what happened next was I was on another leg of my healing journey with my holistic chiropractor, and we were making really good progress, but then it was really slow. And then it kind of came to a standstill. And so I asked him that question, should I have my mercury fillings removed? And he said, well, it won't hurt. So that's when I started looking around for a holistic dentist or a biological dentist. And at that time, several years ago, the closest one was 45 minutes away. But I made the call, set up a consult. And so they do a consultation. And because I figured it was going to cost me a lot of money to have those removed, because you're having removed and replaced. So, had the consult, pleasant surprise. It's the same cost as having a filling done, and insurance does however they finagle that. Okay. So, and I get all the information. I feel very comfortable. I feel very safe. And they explain everything and the whole process and how they keep it safe. Because when they remove that mercury out of your mouth, the vapors are extremely dangerous to everybody in the room. So they explain the whole process and how they keep everybody safe and then how they dispose of it and all that. So I then started having them removed or removed and replaced. And once I had them, once that was complete, it was like I was like cruising along at, let's say, 15 miles an hour with the healing journey. And then once I had those replaced, it sped up to like 80 miles an hour. It's like it just shot it through. Does that? Yeah. Just kind of fast forwarded it or sped up the process. And so for me, it was definitely worth it. And so that's my personal story with it. Because I had quite a few, I had upper and lower and on both sides, I chose to have it done in stages. I had like the upper done, then I had the lower done. And then I had one side that it was a whole bunch of mercury underneath the crown. So that was the last piece of the puzzle. that's the one I had done last. Okay, so for me, it made a huge difference, and I'm glad I did it. So then there might be some people who are like, well, should I? Well, I don't know. Depends on, are you having any issues? Have you tried everything and but you're still not making progress or not making quick progress? Maybe that would be something to consider. So for me, it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there might be some people who have them and they don't have any symptoms of any sort. Well, then, yeah, maybe don't worry about it. But, okay. What questions do you have? Like,
I don't know. I've never had a filling. Knock on wood.
I know you. Now your brother had like what, one or two? Yeah. So yeah, interesting, right?
But I never had any. So I.
Well, what about like Mercury or dentistry in general? Anything?
I don't know.
Come to mind?
Do they still use Do they still use Mercury fillings today? I would assume
they do. So because I asked them that question. So a traditional or conventional dentist, yes, they still use it. However, you can request it not to be used. They do have other materials. They're, I think what they told me is that they have 5 other materials that they can use. However, only one of those 5 does not emit phytoestrogens or compounds that mimic estrogen. And so you want to make sure you get that one. Now, don't ask me the name of that one. I don't know it. I don't remember what she told me. But yeah, so I'm like, well, we're using that one, right? Yes. So that was, I had no idea about that. Like, yeah, so still even some of the plastic, silicone, porcelain, stuff that's used, the more modern stuff that's used, be careful about. Like, so here's what really, another deciding factor that pushed me to the biological dentist. I had been to the dentist, they wanted to do a filling, and this was the more conventional one. And I asked, well, what are we using for the filling? And some substance was rattled off, and I was like, well, what is that? What's in it? What's it made out of? And I was hushed up real quick. Like they couldn't really even tell me, like, oh, don't worry, it's safe. But like, you didn't answer my question. Don't worry, it's safe. That didn't answer my question. So anyway, come to find out, right, there are even some of those that match the color of your teeth that could still be somewhat concerning. So it's okay to ask, what's in it or what is it? And like I said, just because they say it's safe today doesn't mean that 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, we don't find out, no, that wasn't safe either. But anyway, so my experience with the biological dentist was fabulous. Like I said, the practice has a great reputation for being very safe, very comfortable. They specialize in working with people who have fear of dentists, children, and then the biological and the mercury removal. So I did pull up their website so that I could, like, what is biological dentistry? It's they choose to use substances that are more biocompatible with your body. Also, that approach of doing things maybe a little more slowly, a little more calmly to reduce fear, because they're looking at the person as a whole person and not just their teeth. So the biocompatible dentistry techniques and tools and is what makes them a little bit different. And then mercury is what I wanted to click on. So the mercury pollution. And so a lot of it is toxic to the environment, but also if it's toxic to the environment, wouldn't it be toxic to us? Right? That's the thing. So when the metal is heated, then the vapors are released, and then that's what is so dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a very strict and standard protocol that must be followed by dentists so that everybody is safe and protected. And they explained it all and went through it, and so it doesn't take long at all, and it's painless. It painless. So, and they use oxygen as an air source, a vinyl dam in your mouth, ionizers, HEPA, carbon filters. Anyway, just all vitamin C. They have you take a lot of vitamin C before and right after to rinse your mouth to reduce mercury absorption. So anyway, for me, it was worth it. And then also, there's no silver silver color in my mouth, so I like that too. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, if people have questions, I say it's definitely worth finding a biological dentist in your area and going for a consult. And like, that's not an appointment you have to pay for, and they're gonna give you information, and they'll quote you those prices and check with your insurance and all that. And so for me, it was worth it. Didn't take long. Like, the whole process didn't take long. So, yeah. And it made a huge difference in my healing journey. So we already have an episode on toothpaste, tooth powder. So that would be a good one to reference if anybody, like, well, then how do you, and is fluoride okay? We haven't talked about fluoride specifically, but probably not. So fluoride and chlorine, just as a sidebar, fluoride and chlorine tend to attach themselves to the receptors on your thyroid or for your thyroid. And so it can disrupt the, I've lost the word, your thyroid's, the way it's working and how it's supposed to work. It can disrupt that process. And so that's, be careful with the fluorides. Well, we talked a little bit about it because it's an ingredient in toothpaste and you're not supposed to swallow it. Well, if you're not supposed to swallow it, why is it in water? And why are we coating people's teeth with it? And why, so we did talk about that a little bit. But yeah, fluoride and chlorine and bromine are three substances that can be quite disruptive to how your thyroid is supposed to work. So again, a little bit here and there, probably not a big deal. Your body will know what to do with it and how to flush it out. But if you're inundated with it all the time, twice a day, brushing your teeth or whatever, then it might disrupt some processes in your body. So anyway, okay, we're talking about mercury fillings. And so, is it worth having them removed? In my opinion, yes. It might be a conversation for you and a biological dentist. Again, depending on your health and where you are in your health journey. So, you don't have any. You're lucky. Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember you saying that when you were having it done, the chiropractor guy said that it affects everyone differently. So like some people might not have to have them removed, but for you who was like hitting the plateau, that was the next step for you.
Yep. And he said, well, you won't know till you do it. So fortunately, I had the insurance coverage. I had, and it still had to pay some out of pocket. So fortunately, I was able to do that. And I mean, I was a little strategic. Like, I did some at the end of a calendar year, and then I did the others when the calendar year, a new calendar year. So like to stagger that. And anyway, so I had that coverage, and I'm very fortunate. And but with that, the out of pocket cost was very minimal. So, I was pleasantly surprised, like, yay. So, cause just a lot of things is like, oh, really? But, yeah, it made a huge difference for me. So I'm glad I did. Yep. And because their practice is just so kind and so compassionate and so comfortable, and they put you at ease, I've decided to stay with them. And so I make the drive at like 45 minutes once every 6 months. And they've been very honest, with, no, you don't need to spend tons of money on this or that or whatever tools you want to use. So they've been honest about that and super helpful. So, yeah, so decided to stick with them. But hopefully, wherever you are, you can find just as great of a biological dentist to that. But you do want to ask if they're going to remove the mercury, if they've been trained, and if they go by the protocol. It's IAOMT standards that they're supposed to follow. I don't know what that stands for. I didn't notice it. I think it's international. Oh, I see it. International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology. International Academy of Oral Medicine and Toxicology. So that's a safety protocol. So you want to, if you're going to talk to a dentist about that, you want to ask if they're following that protocol. So, yep. Okay, that's what we've got for you today. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and let me know if you have any questions about future substances or chemicals, or I don't know, who knows what, but a question, anything and everything related to health and fitness, you just let me know, because I got 2 questions just this week on some different. One is a substance, and what was the other one? I told you what they were. Oh, yeah, creatine. I'll just go ahead and say them, and beef tallow. So those will be future episodes. So do that. Send me your questions, what you want to hear about. Like, we'll do a little investigating if I don't already know. So anyway, so what's the truth about mercury fillings? Well, guess what? It depends. Isn't that my answer a lot? It depends. That's my answer a lot. Depends on the person. But mercury in and of itself, yes, is highly toxic. And also, it's a big conductor of electricity. I'm a little concerned about having that much in your mouth. Yeah. Anyway, so if you're having a bunch of health issues, that might be, and you have a lot of mercury fillings, that might be something to consider, and having them removed and replaced. So, does that answer? Is that the truth?
As best as we could tell it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it depends. Probably depends. It's personal. Like, it could be. Depends on the person. And like, I'm pretty sure your dad has a filling or 2 mercury, and he doesn't have health issues, so it would not be something that he would probably consider. But he doesn't have any health issues, so right, depends on the person. So hopefully that helps you make a decision, or gives you more information to then follow up and go look yourself, or go talk to your people in your care team and ask, is this something I should consider? So, yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. And,
if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you have a question or a thought. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave a review.
Save the episode. Leave
a review.
Share it.
Share it with your friends. And follow us on Instagram at truthwithruth.pod. We do little previews of the episodes there. And Patreon. We got some workout videos for you. Some extras here and there.
We've got a weekly plan regimen, workout regimen, the electrolyte recipe. And some other, we'll continue to drop freebies in there. And just truthwithruth.com. truthwithruth.com.
That's the website.
That's the website, truthwithruth.com. But, and then from there, you can easily link to any of those things, or the Patreon. So if doing all of those things just helps us keep the lights on and the lights and the camera and all those things on. So thanks for your support. And until next time, fight for your health.